What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing an oil change on the 2013 Kia Sorento, or oil change with any Sorento with the 3.3 liter motor, V6 setup. On this slide, you guys can pause it, check out what you need to get before you get into it, and let's get right into the video. Okay, folks, first thing you want to do is make sure you're working on a level ground. If you decide to use the ramps, go ahead and carefully drive your vehicle up. And at the top, make sure the vehicle's in park and the e-brake is applied. If you decide to use the jacking stands, jack your vehicle up by the lift points and then place your stands under a stable part of the vehicle. Oil stabilizer treatment. So instead of doing 5.5 quarts, we're going to do 4.5 quarts of the regular 5W20 oil, and then the entire 32 fluid ounces of the Lucas oil. High mileage oil, I feel like it's a little bit better. Many YouTubers use this in their vehicles, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. We use this in all of our vehicles before, they still run, and the Expedition over there has almost 300,000 miles. So the next thing you're gonna need to purchase is the oil filter for your car. Cartridge filter goes on top of the block, so this is why it looks like this. Real easy to install. I'll show you guys that as well. It also comes with the new O-ring and the new crush wash. Then lastly, you're gonna need something to catch your oil in. Alright, so first, before you get underneath the car, you're gonna want to take the oil cap off of the top. This is gonna allow for airflow to come in as the old oil goes out, which is good because we want to drain all of the old oil in the motor. So here we are underneath the car. This is the oil pan location. So if you look on this side of the transmission, you want to go all the way over. See a black pin, it kind of has like check marks under it, and that is the drain bolt there. So you want to position your pan something like this in reference to the drain bolt, right? So when the oil comes out, it is going to like spout back a little bit, but then most of it should fall right underneath the oil pan. So you want to directly center it right underneath the drain bolt. Tighty, lefty loosey, very important. In this situation, we're going to be going down to loosen it. Right, once she's loose, shouldn't be that tough in your vehicle, but you know, we're in New England, so. And then once it's loose, pull straight back, oil goes down, and then make sure when you guys do this, you get the bolt and the crush washer off. So if you can see at the bottom there, that's the crush washer. It's kind of silver, and the bolt is it's a darker, kind of like cast iron color. I'm gonna let that drain out for about since the motor's cold, for about 2 minutes. If this was a hot motor, it should all be out within like a minute or a minute and a half, but this one's been cold for a little bit. So alright, so now we have the crush washer off. We could go ahead and put the new one on. So it's real simple. Basically, just drop it right on top. It goes right on. So whenever I'm putting bolts back in, I always like to start by hand. And get a little oil drip on you, it's okay. Part of the trade. And when you start by hand, that ensures that you got a nice good fit. Like so. Pretty straightforward. And once it gets closer into the pan, try not to get any oil on this thing. It's gotta get that to focus. There we go. Kinda hard doing this with one hand, but anything for the views, guys, anything. Make sure to like and subscribe. Alright. Alright, so now that it's flush here and it's tight, we're not going to put a lot on it. You want to do about a quarter turn, like that there. Quarter turn, it's tight, that's good. We definitely don't want to over tighten it. And then of course, just so that we don't have any false leaks, you want to go down here, wipe everything off. That looks nice and minty clean. Nice and professional, no leaks, everything's in the pan. Now you're good to add the fluids to the top. Is right here. So has a little nut on top of it, right? Now if you have the special tool to take it off, that's fine. If not, you could go ahead with a regular socket. It's plastic, so you want to be very careful when loosening it. You're going to turn it to get the rest of the cap off, and that exposes the filter and the O-ring, and we could go ahead and swap that. And you also want to do this before you add your fluid in. All right, with a 1 1/16, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's a 1 inch and 1/16 of an inch. That fits up there nice and snug. I'm gonna use the same ratchet as before and get that thing taken off. So boom, good to go. Oh, well, in this case, since that's a 1/2 inch, we need a 1/2 inch ratchet. No problem. Just go get a 1/2 inch ratchet. To the pile of unorganized tools. If this video goes viral, I will buy a nice toolbox. I have one in mind. I'll put the link in the bio. Here we go. Once again, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So use our right hand rule. We need to go in that direction to have the bolt come out. Just like that. And it's pretty coarse. I don't know, it's about 4 turns. It's already hand loose. Alright, so when taking this out, folks, everything is going to come up at the same time. So we're going to let all the extra oil kind of drip in to the little compartment down there. This part out. Now, as you can see, the little bottom stem goes on the bottom here. So taking this out by orientation. You want to hold this camera so I can... Yes or no? Okay. Just put it on to the filter. Alright, so you're going to take this filter out. If you want to get your hands dirty, you can just use a rag like so. And lift straight out. You might have to turn it a few times, I believe. Yeah, then it comes up and out. So this is the old one. This is what it looks like. And there is the O-ring, and you can literally just take a screwdriver and pop that off. It's up here now. So when you get it, this is what it'll look like. It'll be right in here. You're going to take your screwdriver carefully, not to mess any threads up, go in between like so, and just work it around kind of like in a circle, backing out, and it pops right off just like that. It's simple. We don't want to take all the oil off of the threads, but you take off a good amount because this is old oil. Something like that is perfect. Ring here. Take a little bit of the oil residue, just go right around it. Doesn't have to be like dripping in oil, but you just want to make a good seal, so this will do so. Now, since this is new, we don't have to like stretch it as much or use a screwdriver. Pops right into there like so, and then we take our filter, and that's gonna go. There's a ring, right? And remember, you want this piece to be facing out, so we're gonna plop this right in there, just like so. Now that we got the O-ring on the cap, that's good. We're gonna put our filter into there. So kind of gotta play with it a little bit, spin it until it drops, just like that there. And now we put our cap on. Hand tightening is perfect. You want to make sure it is tight, but you don't have to over tighten it. And you can't push anymore with a lot of force, maybe less than 5 foot-pounds of torque. You're tight. You don't want to over tighten that at all because it's plastic. So now to add the fluids. Alright, so now we got our funnel in here. We want to make sure the funnel fits in there good. You should be able to see down through it. We have a light so you can, but First thing we're going to do is going to add the 4.5 quarts. So yeah, if you're recording, you definitely might be better off with 2 people. My father's here to help. Appreciate you. Yep, goes right in. Then it has a little gauge on the side, and it'll tell you about where you are as far as quantity. So in this, we want to have like at least a half a quart left. Now we're going to do the half a quart of Lucas. That'll leave us at 5 quarts total. We're going to run it, see where we're at on the dipstick, and then we'll add the rest of the oil if we need to. But that should put us at about where we need to be. All that's added, we're going to go ahead and tighten up the cap. Alright, start the car, and then we'll check the dipstick to see where it is. So while you do this, you want to get out, walk around, make sure there isn't any leaks anywhere. Check underneath. And you want to let it sit and run for a little bit, because you basically just drain all the oil out of it from top to bottom. So rule of thumb, you want to let it run until the RPMs initially drop. So this one usually runs at around 1.5 to 2 when it first starts up. Once it drops to about like 1 or under 1, as it's starting to do now, you want to go and check it. Listen out for any weird noises, any grinding, any clanking. That means you may have an internal problem. Usually not common when you do an oil change, but if you're talking about something with higher miles, like maybe 200,000 to 300,000 miles, like this vehicle, is definitely something important to look out for. But so far, so good. And yeah, if you do this, you'll have a successful oil change, and that just saved us about, well, if you went to the dealer, they might charge you around $50 for an oil change. And then they tell you it's high mileage, so that goes up to another maybe $60. I don't know, but nowadays, like, a lot of other oil places have closed down. So, alright, so now as you see, it's starting to drop around 1, so we want to go up there, check the capacity, make sure it's all good. Check your vehicle's oil. First thing you want to do, turn the vehicle off, make sure the motor isn't running. You're going to take the dipstick out, pull all the way out, make sure it stays flat. You never want to have the top end go down. And you're going to wipe off the first amount of oil. You want to hold this so I can show them how to check their oil. Alright, so after the dipstick's out, you want to wipe that off. It should be nice and clean like this, nothing on it. Gonna go back down and in. Right there. All the way in. A little turn. Pull straight out. Keep it level. And then you're gonna check your oil. So here, ours is actually right where it needs to be at the max hole. So now we're good to go. We can go right back in. And that is a complete oil change. Once again, I want to thank you guys for watching the YouTube video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, feel free to ask any questions you have related to any other automotive repairs. Come back to the channel on a regular basis. We're going to be doing all types of repairs, DIY stuff, and things you could do to bring your vehicle to the next level. Until then, stay safe, and thanks for watching Big W Design.